Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today, for those new around here, my name is Jean, and today I'm going to do a Q&A. I have had about 7 or 8 questions from you, either on YouTube or on Instagram, and I've had a couple of questions actually from my family who have asked me things in the last few weeks, and I thought, well, I've obviously answered them, but I thought that's a good question that other people may well want to know the answer to. So I'm not going to read out names, I'm just going to read the questions. Hopefully I've got all the questions that you've asked, so I hope you don't mind if I don't read out names. I'm not sure that people want to know who it was that asked the question, so I'm going to leave that. So I hope your question will be here if you've asked me one. So I hope you're all okay. Sorry, I'm rushing a bit. I don't need to rush. I'm filming this on the Sunday, just while I've got a quiet half hour or so. Going round to see my son and daughter-in-law and grandchildren in about an hour and a half, something like that, a couple of hours. So, yeah, so hope you're all okay. Thank you to everyone for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. My numbers are going up every few days by a couple, which is great. It really is great. So let's get on with the questions, shall we? And I will be as honest as I can. I've not the only one I've looked into is one of them that I needed some photos for. Other than that, I've just written them down. I have my list. So first question is, what made me get into crafts? I don't do as much now, even though I'm retired and could do a lot more. I don't seem to do a load now, and it's mostly around Christmas time that I do make all my crafts, because I do Christmas craft fairs, so I top up what I've got and make them. But I first got into crafts after watching, she is, and I still watch her. She's an American lady, and all she does is Dollar Tree hauls and crafts. That's literally all she does in her craft room. But she's called Jodie, and it's Jodie's craft room. I don't know how old she is, but I do know she's a nan. I think she's a great nan as well. So she's of an age, but she's really good to watch, and she does some really lovely crafts, a few of which I've implemented and sort of made my own or done it slightly different. So yeah, she was the reason that I got into crafting, because I thought that looked so easy to do and fantastic outcome when it was finished. I mean, I've done quite a few of hers now, put my own slant on a few of them, not copied exactly, but yeah, that is how I got into crafting. And that was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It's never been something I've done for years and years and years, but maybe 6 years ago, something like that. So I hope that's answered that question. Next question is, what is my favourite season and why? I think you may already know this, to be fair. Autumn is my favourite season. First and foremost because that leads us into Christmas, which is my absolute, it's a joy. I love Christmas. I start buying Christmas presents when I see them from sort of April, May onwards. And if I see something I know someone will like, obviously nothing that would go out of date or anything like that, but little things, for the grandchildren or things like that, I will start picking up early. So also autumn, when the leaves are falling and it's getting cooler outside, but you come in and you're nice and warm and cozy, and and I like just being at home and being cosy. So I like spring and summer. I don't really like being in the sun, but I like seeing the sun. Well, no, the sun, if it's not too hot, I can't just sit in the sun. I couldn't go away and just sit. A lot of people can just go away, sit in the sun, read their book. I've never been able to do it, never. I've tried it a few times, and one, it just bores me silly, and two, I just don't want to get sunburnt, which is what I would do. I'm so fair, I would just get sunburnt, and then it's peels and it's sore and it's horrible, and I get loads more freckles, which I don't mind. I'm freckly, so I'm quite happy. That doesn't bother me. So yeah, my favourite season is autumn because it leads up to Christmas. This is the one that I will try and put some photos in. If I move over, I will try and put them here. And that is, what different hairstyles have I had? I'm not a person for change, so I'll just say that straight away. I haven't had loads. I've never had a perm. I've never put a colour on my hair. I've put like a wash-in colour, you know, those that last 6 to 8 washes and that sort of thing. Excuse me. I've done that, but I've never permed my hair. I've never coloured my hair. So I'm going to put in some different photos now. Probably from when I was younger, I had a really, really short hairstyle, and my dad used to call me Fred. Yeah, so that was that. It's really short, which you've probably seen. Next one was a school photo. I think I'm putting in where my hair is, but back then you didn't straighten it or curl it really. I just washed it and left it, and that's how it was. Then there'll be a few going through. There's one in there, I think, of when I got married. I've put one in. That was short then, but not as short as Fred at the beginning. I've had remember Farrah Fawcett, Charlie's Angels, the original. Yeah, I had a Farrah Fawcett with the fringe and the going back, and yeah, I had that. My longest, I think I'll put that in now. It was down to about around my tummy, I should think. A few of these photos, I don't know why, but I'm doing this. I don't know why, but that's obviously my pose. So I've just put in a few different photos so you can see my hairstyle just over the years. But as I say, I don't change it a lot. I had a feather. There's one that I'll put in. I've got a pink dress on. It's for my niece's wedding, and it was short hair, and I have it all feathered. That looked quite nice. But other than that, it's long. It's either been long and straight, or long and wavy, or long and tied back, or my other niece's wedding, you'll see me in a green dress, a mint coloured dress. I've just got it tied back with some little flowers in the back. And this, I've had it like this for years and years and years. So this is the last, because I think when it's long or longer, you can have it either way. You can have it straight, you can have it tied back, ponytail up. I've got a clip in it today. You'll also see a couple of darker, where my hair was darker, and that is my actual natural colour. There's nothing on it, because that would have been years ago, and I would never have put anything on it anyway, before I started getting the grey. So, but yeah, no, I've never coloured, you know, put a proper colour on, and I've never permed. So I hope that answers that question, and I hope you've enjoyed the photos. Next question. Have I ever had any pets? Well, when I lived at home with Mum and Dad, we had a dog, a Cairn Terrier called Sally, and we had 2 cats. I don't think it was at the same time, and they were called Smokey and Dinky. Yeah, that's all I had there. And then since I've been married, we've had a dog, not a particular breed, beautiful white dog she was, and we called her Leah. And we had a cat, and the only reason we got a cat was we used to back onto a field. And we used to get a load of field mice, and my friends had cats, and she was getting a new one, and there was another one waiting to have a home, so we got the cat. Name was Smokey, after a cat I used to have. And she caught all the mice. She was great, but she wasn't a very nice cat. Oh, she was really not. She was wild, a wild cat, and she wasn't like, she wouldn't sit on your lap and be stroked, or, you know, you could cuddle her or play with her, or she wasn't. Sorry for you cat lovers out there, but she really wasn't a nice cat. And in the end, we gave her to someone who would love her, to be fair, because she was driving me nuts. Yeah, so that is it. That's pet wise, that's all I've had. Not a lot at all, really. I don't dislike animals, but and the reason I won't have an animal at the moment, my middle grandson, he doesn't really like dogs, so I wouldn't have a dog. But also they're a tie. If you got to go away, you've either got to find somewhere where you can take your pet, well, a dog, or have someone look after them, which I don't think is fair, to have someone actually look after your dogs or any animals. That's just my opinion. And we did go away when we had our dog, and we used to put her into kennels, and she was quite happy there. But yeah, I think they're a tie. You can't just get up and go, can you? So my next one is favourite pastimes. Now I don't know if that meant sort of, I think it meant as a child, because I think I got the same question from the same person about my childhood TV and favourite pastimes. So I'm assuming they mean back in the day. My favourite TV as would I have been a teenager, or was the original Starsky and Hutch. I loved Paul Michael Glaser. David Soul was all right as well, but Paul Michael Glaser was my favourite as Starsky. So, yeah, I used to love them. Charlie's Angels, who I've mentioned. I mean, back in the day, we didn't really watch a lot of television. We had one, but it was very rarely on. We was always playing. We really didn't watch telly at all. I remember watching Andy Pandy, and I watched Magpie. Wasn't really a Blue Peter fan. Watched it a few times, but wasn't really a fan. What else did we watch? See, didn't really watch a lot. Yeah, my favourite pastime, as a child, I mean, don't get me wrong, we had loads of things, you know. We had a holiday every year, but we didn't get lots of things, you know what I mean? We got Christmas presents, birthday presents, but my mum would never let me have a bike. She thought it was dangerous. So my friend who lived a couple of doors away had a bike, so we used to take it in turns to go ride her bike. My mum didn't like it, but we only ever went one bit of the road to the other bit. I mean, it wasn't that far. There was 4 houses, so yeah. And also she had skates, like roller skates, which I didn't have either. And we'd have goes on hers, or we'd have one skate each, and so you'd, you know, be pedalling with one skate and one foot on the road, and we'd do that. But we had great fun. We had absolutely great fun doing that. Yeah, it's just silly, isn't it, what you remember? And I hadn't actually thought of that until I was trying to think of past times. I used to love playing with my doll. I could sit for hours and play with my doll. Excuse me. Yeah. Wendy, her name was. She was she didn't have hair as such. She had, her hair was sort of in her head. You know what I mean? It was part of the head. Yeah, Wendy. Don't know what happened to her, but anyway. What fashion from my youth? When I was at secondary school, we were doing sewing, and I made a the skirt. It was about this big. It was a green skirt, and I loved it. I thought I looked the bee's knees in this skirt. I was what would I have been, about 13, 14, and I used to wear that with funnily enough, an orange top and a red cardigan. Well, I thought I looked lovely. I have actually got a photo somewhere, but looking through the photos for different hairstyles, I didn't come across the no, I didn't come across that one. So I've got hundreds and hundreds of photos, so yeah, didn't come across that one. And I used to have a lovely pair of hot pants, you know, with the, you know, like a dungaree type at the top here, and then hot pants. I used to love them. Pale blue they were. What else did I have? I mean, I thought it looked great and everything, to be fair. Yeah, hot pants and a little mini skirt. Oh, I used to wear what are they called, like all-in-ones, jumpsuits. I had a couple of them, burgundy one, a black one, and oh, they were lovely. I used to love them. And yeah, that was it. Other than that, it was just jeans. I wore a lot of jeans, flared jeans mostly. Pardon me, hiccup. Yeah, funny. If I can find any photos, I will put them up. But as I say, they're all in my loft. I don't know. But my skirt, my green skirt, orange top and red cardigan, I thought I looked the bee's knees. Another one was, what equipment do I use? I literally use the camera that I'm filming on now and the tripod, which you would have seen, which I bought from Temu. That is it. I film on I've got a Samsung camera. It's not an iPhone, it's just a Samsung. I film on it. I do my thumbnail, everything. Thumbnails, editing and uploading. Everything I use is you. It's that. It's the camera and the tripod. That is it. I don't do anything on my tablet or my laptop. I've just do it all on my phone. For no other reason than I'm used to it now, and it seems to work, unless you think different, but I think it works. How are we doing? Nearly 19 minutes. What jobs have I had? When I left school, I worked for a plastics company. I started off as an office junior at 16. worked my way up to telephonist receptionist, and then worked my way up to invoice typist. I was there for um, 5 years, and then I left there and started work not far from there at a solicitor's. I went in as I didn't want to do typing anymore, so I went back to being a telephonist receptionist. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. It was great fun. I made some lovely friends who I'm still, with friends today. Yeah, I loved it. And I actually met my husband at that job. He wasn't there. He worked for a bank, and he used to have to phone our solicitors for his work, and we used to have to phone the bank for our work. But, instead of putting them through on the telephone, me and my husband would have a good old chat before we put them through to the prospective person they had to speak to. He actually got in trouble once because we was on the phone for about 2 hours. But I used to wear a headpiece with the microphone, and I would just say to him, I've got to take another call, and I'd take a call and go back to talk to him. They didn't know I was talking to him, but he got in trouble. Another one, and this was from a family member. Actually, a couple of them have been for a family member, but this is the last question, so it won't be too long a video. What would I tell my 18-year-old self? That's hard, isn't it? Firstly, my 18-year-old self probably wouldn't have listened. But what I would have said was save money. Start your life off with a bit of money behind you. It would also say don't let people walk all over you. Because there's been a few times that I'm a very quiet person. I don't, even now, think I'm a quiet person. I've got better, and I will speak my mind a bit more, and I won't be taken for a ride now. Whereas before, people could have, there's loads of times when I could have said no, and I should have said no, and I didn't. And I was put upon. At work, this isn't family or anything, but at work, and I should have said no. But I'm a people pleaser, I think. I like to please people, and if I suffer in the meantime, yeah. Now I would say no. Now I would speak my mind. And I think you gain that as you get older. It is true, you get older, you get a bit wiser. You wise up to people and to things and to circumstances. So, yeah, I think I would say save money, put it into a pension account, because, it's ridiculous if you don't, especially the rate at which the age is going up that you can retire. And also, just don't let people walk all over you. Say no if you have to say no. If people don't like it, they don't like it, but at least you be true to yourself and you won't be put upon, which is what I found. Don't get me wrong, I love both my jobs, but there were times when, could you do this, could you do that? Actually, going back to my jobs, worked for plastic firms, worked for a solicitor's, and then my last job, I was a teaching assistant, and that was the job that I probably got put upon, to be honest. And that's why I couldn't take it anymore, and I would have stayed, but there was too much to do. So I'm sorry, I've jumped back to my previous question about what jobs have I had. that is sort of coincides with being put upon. I loved it, and I was there for, as a teaching assistant, I was in the school for 27 years. I was actually associated with the school for about 30 years, from when my eldest son went there. I was, I was involved with the school because of him. And then when my second son went there, that's when I became a parent helper. And then they offered me a job after, I don't know, 6-7 months, something like that. And as I say, I was working there, employed for 27 years. And I would say for about 24 of those years, I absolutely loved it. The last 3 were, well, the last year actually was, it was hard. It was very hard. So, what would I tell my 18-year-old self? Save money, put into a pension fund, realise you can say no. You don't have to do everything everybody tells you to. And be yourself. Don't follow others because it's a trend or because someone tells you. Be your own self. That's all you can be. That's all you can be. So, little bit, at the end there. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is it. So I hope, I'm pretty sure I've got all the questions that were asked over either here or on YouTube, or family members. And I hope they're the sort of questions that, you would have asked had you asked me a question. Of course, if there is any other questions following on from this, please feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll reply to that. Also, with regard to the hairstyles, because I put this in this video, Linda from Linda T70 is actually doing a video on different hairstyles she's had. So I'm looking forward to seeing that actually, and I think she's doing that to come out Tuesday as well, like today when you're seeing this. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too long and boring for you. Yeah. Please, if you've liked it, would you like to give me a thumbs up? That would help me enormously. And comment or a little emoji or question again, or anything following on from my questions, the answers I've given. Please feel free to leave a comment. It all helps me. And if you haven't subscribed and you watch my channel regularly, please think about subscribing. I would, it's so appreciative if you did that. Yeah, so that is it. I'm not going to go on anymore. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please take care. Today we've had fog, really, really bad fog. It's cleared now. I don't actually know what the time is, but it's cleared up now. And the sun's out, which is lovely. So I'm going to go have a coffee, I think. I think my next video, I think it's going to be a day in the life, which I'm going to film either Tuesday or Wednesday to go up on Friday. Yeah, because I've got a few bits to do. I mean, I don't do a lot every day, but if I have a day where I'm going to do things that you might be interested in, then I'll film it or take you with me. I do have to pop out. So yeah, that will be next week sometime to go up on Friday. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please take care of yourself. If you have bad weather, please look after yourself. Please keep warm. And I will see you next time. Thank you ever so much for watching and supporting me. It really means a lot. So till next time. Bye.